with Shutdown, teaching Americans some pretty hard financial lessons. We've heard the stories of the personal hardships hundreds of thousands of Americans are now facing. And expected loss of income comes not only as a shock, but also a major financial setback, with 80% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Having said that, we want to ask, how can we all better plan for any kind of financial emergency that we might face? We've got Bert here, the Oracle of Orlando, here with us now to tell us more. It is so good to see you, and such a timely time to have you in. And I think it's so important because we talk about this all the time. Most of us are, you know, 1 or 2 paychecks away from disaster. Yes,
and it's unfortunately because that's what we do in this country. We live paycheck to paycheck. We spend everything that comes in, and we don't plan for a rainy day. We have 800,000 federal workers out there that aren't getting a paycheck, and the bills continue.
If you were put in this situation suddenly, because I don't know that anybody anticipated the government shutdown would last as long as it has. So if you find yourself in this situation where it is dragging on for an extended period of time, is there anything that you can do, Joe?
Well, for the government workers, what they need to do is get a handle on what they need to pay every month. And let's talk about those things. You have your rent or your mortgage payment, you have insurance, you have your light bill, those basic things that one way or another need to get paid. First thing you do is you pick up the telephone and you try to get forbearance. You talk to your lender, talk to the credit card companies and say, listen, I'm a government employee. The chances are they know where you work and they know the situation. Ask for forbearance. Say, and then they know within 30, 60 days you're going to get the paycheck. It's not like you're trying to stiff them, you're leaving town. They'll understand and put a hold on that. So if you can put a hold on those expenses that you have to pay, that's the first step. The next step is then to figure out what you need over and above the roof over your head. You need food. You can't talk to the public, you know, but what you can figure out is, okay, how much do we need every month coming in for gasoline, all right, to get to work, for the food on our table, those basic kinds of things, and then what you need to do is look at where am I going to get that money.
So let me ask you this then, having said that, what happens to credit? Because that's such an important part of all of this as well.
What you don't want to do is blow up your credit. That's why you need to pick up the phone and talk to your creditors. Talk to your credit card company, talk to the mortgage company, those people that expect that check and don't know your personal situation. You talk to them and they'll make a note in your file, and more often than not, you're going to get some forbearance. The worst thing to do is to ignore it.
Put like an ostrich with your head in the sand, right?
And it's a nice position, I shouldn't say a nice position, but it's an easier position to be in because they understand this is a national phenomenon.
Sure, absolutely.
And, you know, I'm a government employee. I work for the whatever, and I'm out of work. But within 30 days, I expect we'll all be back. Let's hope we'll all be back to work, and the money will be coming in, and then I can pay you.
You know, I don't want to harp on this too long, but I think this is very important because somebody asked me this question the other day. What happens if you're not able to get the forbearance for whatever reason, and your credit takes a little bit of a nosedive? Is there any way that you can then talk to the credit agencies?
Yes, you can contact them and put a note in your file exactly why you missed those payments. But the important thing is once you know where the relief is, and then you're going to need to figure out, okay, how do I put food on the table?
That's right.
All right, what do I do? Well, fortunately, many people in the government have what's called a thrift savings plan. It's like a 401k plan. Now, they generally can't borrow from that plan when they're on furlough, but they can make a hardship withdrawal. So they can withdraw from the plan and get immediate money. All right. If you have a credit card, use the credit card. You don't want to use the credit card for a way of living, but you know you're going to get paid back. You know you're going to get that back, and then you can pay it off. If you have money in a cash value life insurance policy, use that, or talk to a friend, talk to a relative. They know you're going to be getting paid back. It's a short-term situation.
So these are some ways in that you can tap into some extra cash.
Exactly. And what you want to do is you're in survival mode.
For sure.
You know, stay away from the Starbucks.
Right.
Stay away from the dining out, all the luxuries that we like to have, and you're in survival mode. What you want to do is get through this tough period. The good news is for the federal employees is that once the government gets back open, you're going to get that money.
We've got to wrap, but I want to ask you, moving forward in the future, what should people learn from this?
You need to have an emergency fund. And the best way to do that is put it into your 401k, because oftentimes you can borrow from that and you're paying yourself back. So it's a way to force yourself to put money aside out of your paycheck every month, and when the situation like this comes, you've got something to fall on.
Very good advice, Bert. We always appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.